The Arab revolutions hogging the attention of the world have left Palestinian problems in the shadows. Farmers on the occupied territories are fighting on their own for basic needs. And as RT's Paula Sleer now reports, some suggest Israel is deliberately using the opportunity to go about its business of undermining Palestinians.
While the world's attention is focused on the Arab Spring, Palestinians are focused on a different kind of spring, the kind that farmers rely on for their livelihood, and without which many Palestinian villages would not survive.
I'm afraid to stand here, even though this is my farm. The soldiers and settlers often come here to harass us. You being here protects me. The Israelis are controlling our springs, the source of our water.
This is Nabi Saleh village, a place where the Tamimi tribe has lived for some 400 years. But nearly 3 decades ago, an Israeli settlement sprung up next door and slowly started encroaching on the village's land. Today, a third of what used to be Tamimi ground is controlled by settlers.
It's very frustrating to see the settlement on land that is ours and which we can no longer access. It's part of a plan, and I'm afraid that the day will come when they will knock on my door and say, "This house, it's not yours, it's ours."
The one spring in the area is the main source of water for these Palestinian farmers. But they can now only access it 10 hours a week, while the settlers use it all the time. And far from it being a necessity for them, they're making money using it as a tourism site. The settlers have been investing lots of effort to try and get the Israeli public to come here. Internet sites and advertisements talk about gourmet restaurants, boutique wineries, and of course, magnificent springs. The Nabi Saleh Spring is one of 56 that the United Nations detailed in a recent report.
84% of these springs are on Palestinian private land. So you can just imagine the exasperation that, in a land where water is a rare commodity, despite the fact that you've had it for decades and generations, is lost because new settlers have come on board, their settlements have expanded.
But Palestinians feel the water spring issue is only the tip of the iceberg. Because while the world is zoomed in on the Arab Spring, the Israelis are using the chance to go about their business.
I think it's a perfect time for the Israelis to step up their actions against the Palestinians. I think the world is busy with themselves. Nobody is keen to hear about the Palestinians.
Last year has been a record in terms of the increase in the number of new housing units Israel have permitted or built in the occupied territories as expansion of settlements.
And so, for as long as the world remains focused on the big battles happening across the Arab world, the daily fight these farmers put up for every drop of water will continue unnoticed. Paula Sleer, RT, Nabi Saleh village, Palestinian administration.